Okay, so I'm doing stand-up comedy, everybody. That's a joke in itself. So, yeah, I know Facebook advertises to you based on things that you're searching for. So, for example, if you search professional wrestling, it will advertise to you merchandise. So recently, Facebook advertised to me a kitchen knife. And I'm thinking to myself, what does it think? I need to get more independent and cook in the kitchen? But then it started advertising to me burlap bags, caskets, gas cans, a shovel. And I started to think to myself, what are you getting at, Mark Zuckerberg? I don't want to kill anybody. You should advertise to me, you know, obviously, little stuffed bunnies, camera equipment, and things to that nature. Don't advertise to me, you know, weapons. But yeah, the algorithm, but seriously, it did advertise to me a kitchen knife. And I don't know what the algorithm really thought, because, you know, but yeah, I mean, with that said, Mark Zuckerberg, I don't want to kill anybody, so stop advertising to me kitchen knives. So I went to a Mexican restaurant, and obviously, a lot of Mexican dishes sound exactly the same. So the ensalada sounds like the enchilada, but the enchilada is this cheesy dish, and the ensalada is a salad. So I kept repeatedly ordering I wanted to order the enchilada, but I kept repeatedly ordering the ensalada. I must have done this 3 or 4 times. And nobody corrected me, and every time a salad would come to my table, and I would say, this isn't what I ordered, I wanted some cheesy dish. And, you know, I guess it's a metaphor for life. You could be making a mistake over and over and over again, and nobody will intervene, and nobody will correct you. They'll just let you order the salad over and over again. So when I was younger, the train station by my dad's house ran on diesel, so we'd crush pennies on the train tracks, and you know, all was well until I got into college and I didn't realize there was electrified third rail. So I dropped my cell phone on the train tracks, went down and I was wandering around. When I called my dad that evening, he said to me, so, you know, what happened? You dropped your cell phone and you were walking around on the train tracks? And this was in Syosset, by the way, which is electrified. And yeah, I said, yeah. And he's like, you could have electrocuted yourself. So I must have had a guardian angel watching over me that day. So I'm going to instill in my children, if I ever have any, there is an electrified third rail. Don't electrocute yourself. Don't crush pennies. So obviously, you know, when I was younger, a lot of people listen. You know, I would go to friends' houses, and the friends' dads would ask, do all the kids in middle school listen to the Beatles? And I thought to myself, no. The kids in middle school listen to, and my dad would ask the same question. He would ask, do they listen to Led Zeppelin, Linkin? The kids in middle school, when I went to school, listened to Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Stained, Eminem. And, you know, somehow my father didn't realize, you know, okay, this joke, I screwed up. But I guess the point is, you know, I'm gonna like my father didn't like his father's music, and I'm gonna like if I ever have a kid or I start dating some 21-year-old, I'm gonna just be completely out of touch that they don't like my generation's music. I'm gonna say, you need to listen to Saint Anger. It's one of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Woo! You don't know Saint Anger is like an atrocious album. I'm gonna say you have to turn out all the lights and listen to Saint Anger and listen to all the all the noises. Well, I really screwed that one up. All right, so, you know, when I was in college, obviously, I was aimless, going nowhere, failing all my classes, and I felt like...
Me too.
Yeah, you too, yeah. So I felt like the Edvin Moon painting, The Scream. So I wanted to go into the library where there were a lot of, people working towards accounting, future doctors, future lawyers, and I wanted to go into the middle of a library and scream like this, ah! But if you actually did that, they would come, take you away, bring you somewhere, you know, but that's really how I felt. So obviously, how many of you, you know, haven't worn an article of clothing in a while, you put it on and you find something in the pocket, and it brings you back to a magical time? So I had this dress jacket that I hadn't worn since Christmas 2019. I reached into the pocket, I pulled out a ticket to a Christmas concert, and it brought me back to a magical time when I went to some Christmas concert. You know, obviously, recently I found the Cougar's panties under my bed. I don't know what that, yeah. And I thought to myself, well, that brought me back to a magical time where, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. So my mother said, she could go in. My mother said I need to go into New York City to socialize, and I'm afraid of getting assaulted by a criminal. She says, obviously go into New York City. Don't be afraid. Anybody could do anything to me and assault me, and I'm not afraid of. And I'm thinking to myself, Mom, if you did, God forbid, get assaulted by a criminal in New York City, you would start to cry. You would start to feel horrible. If criminals assault you, it's obviously a very traumatic kind of ordeal. So, with that said, it sounds good on paper. Don't be anxious. Don't be afraid. Just go out there and, don't be afraid. But if you did get assaulted by a criminal in New York City, it would be very upsetting. So, how many people have friends they know, but they don't know their last name? So how do you program them into your cell phone? So somebody I work with at Stop and Shop, he is Michael Stop and Shop. A guy I know doing comedy, he is Timothy Comedy. A woman that I met on Tinder is Jenny Tinder. I wonder how people have me programmed in their cell phone. I like to think it's Andrew Future Movie Star or Andrew Rockstar, but when I saw a friend's cell phone, it was actually Andrew Crazy. And Crazy Andrew. So I don't know, that kind of upset me a little bit. I don't want to be Crazy Andrew in somebody's cell phone. But yeah, so program me in as Andrew Future Movie Star or Andrew Comedy. Don't program me in as Andrew Crazy. So obviously, when it comes to depression, they tell you fake it until you make it. And they say cheer up and get happier, and eventually happiness will dawn on you. So fake happiness. Well, one time a girlfriend was sleeping over my house, and I took a lot of medication for mental health challenges, and it really zonked me and made me sleep comatosely for 12 hours. So it was a Friday evening, and she was sleeping over, and she wanted to go out, have a night on the town, and have a lot of fun. And I took my medication. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna go to sleep. And she basically, I was comatose for like 12 hours, and she wanted to do things, but I was just lying awake. And I told her, fake sleep until you make it. But you know what? I was a good boyfriend, because instead of sleeping for 12 hours, I only slept for 11. But she was probably lying awake in my bedroom while I just slept unconscious on like tons of medication for like 11 hours. And as a result, I told her, you know what? She's like, oh, but I want to go somewhere and do something. I'm like, no, just lie awake. Try to go to sleep. Fake sleep until you make it. So it's kind of like depression. Fake happiness until you make it. Try to fake going to sleep until you make it, and that's my time. Thank you.
Woo!